Yay, trash. Alright. Okay. Alright, here we go. New episode. Oh, okay. Sorry, last minute touch-ups. Can't be one of those lippers, you know what I mean? Lip lickers, you get it? I swear I can speak and read. Most days. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alright, here we go. Episode 28, middle of week 6 of Simply Terrifying. Well, with Valentine's Day just days away, what else could we do our Watch Wednesday on aside from of love shows? You have no idea what I'm talking about? Do you even know what VH1 is? Probably not. I don't think it exists anymore, does it? Quick check. Let me see. I don't think so. But let's see. Does VH1 exist anymore? Oh, yeah. As a basic cable channel, but has shifted from music videos to okay, so I don't think so. I don't think it comes up anymore. Not really. It was like between that and MTV beat it out. Remember when MTV was just music? Like music videos? My God. Ugh, so long ago. Anyway, alright, so what I'm talking about, since Valentine's Day is so close, I'm talking about the famous reality trash that is VH1's Of Love shows. If you haven't seen any, I mean, you're missing out. Seriously. Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, I Love New York, Daisy of Love, Real Chance of Love. Was that it? I don't know. Several seasons for all of these things, though. And let me just tell you. They would take someone pretty minuscule or somewhat obscure, right? Like, Flavor of Love was the first one, I believe. And this was Flavor Flav. Not going to get into all that. But, yeah. Why? I think it was 20 women. So it's this older gentleman, okay? Former hype man. And, big clock around the neck. If you know, you know, you know? And if you don't, it sounds crazy. You know what? In fact, this is going to be a classless episode, so this is all reality trash day. You know, all of people looking for love. And I cannot do air quotes big enough because you know some of them are not. I mean, come on. I don't know. So let's see. Flavor of Love was the first one. And this came on, oh, jeez. This was 2000 and... let me look real quick. Flavor of Love. Now, this is one of those things, it's one of those shows that are so not reality, right? But it's just out there enough to where it's almost like a weird comfort food for a while. I have seen the show, and I think his show had 3 seasons. I've seen all 3 seasons multiple times. And mainly that's because I get into these moods where I just want to see people's, you know, train wreck situations. So just, why not? You know what I mean? It makes you feel really, really good about yourself and your life and everything. It does. I don't know. To me, it does. I don't know. And it's just funny. The fights, the blow-ups, just the fucking cattiness. Like, it's exhausting. Like, if I was in a room and had to, like, I couldn't imagine those fucking producers or cameramen. Ugh, God, those poor fuckers. I couldn't do that. But to watch, you know, wrapped up versions of this mess, yeah, it's got me through a couple weekends. Why not? Yeah. So Flavor of Love started, oh my God, started in 2006, 20 years ago. This shit aired. Woo, buddy. 20 women living together in a mansion. Not his mansion. Competing in challenges for his affection, similar to The Bachelor. Oh my God. Okay. Flip the script. I've never seen The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Those shows just never, that just never appealed to me. Never gripped me in any kind of way. And so I know people that watch that shit religiously, and here I am on the other side of the fucking TV watching absolute trash. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, it says the show, known for its drama and trash TV appeal, launched the careers of contestants like Tiffany New York and spawned spin-offs like I Love New York. I hate that bitch. Oh my god, she's so annoying. In fact, in the end, the show's 20 years old, so like I don't even need to say spoilers. If you haven't seen it, you're probably not going to, so it is what it is at this point. At the end, though, she gets spit on, which isn't nice. I imagine, I don't know what I would do if that happened, but in the end, it's like her and two other contestants, and one of the other women, you know, they're going back and forth with each other before, you know, while they're waiting for him to make his decision of who's going to be voted out, who's going to be the final two. And the one that's leaving just fucking hawks this nasty her name was Pumpkin, I'm sure. Like, again, if you're into this shit at all, you've seen it, like, ugh, you've heard it, like, ugh. She fucking hawks this, and just man, you can see it on camera. I feel like if you have that much, I don't even know if that was all spit, guys. Like, that was gnarly looking. You can see it. I mean, today it might be CGI'd in there. Not 20 years ago. Nope, that shit was real right out the fucking mouth. Gross. So, the premise of these shows, all these shows, because they're all the fucking same. They are. Like, it started with the old man, and then I think Rock of Love was next. They're like, let's mix it up a little bit. We'll put Bret Michaels from Poison in there. Again, someone who's kind of been out of the spotlight for a little bit of time, but you give him a fresh stick of eyeliner and, you know, new bandana, plug in some newer hair extensions, and give him 20 women in a mansion, you know, and see what happens. A lot of alcohol. That's another key. Alcohol. Okay, so the show format for these things, these very professional shows, 20 women live together and compete in challenges to win the heart of Flavor Flav. Let's see. Challenges. And then there'd be elimination after each challenge, whatever. Let me see. Let me just go over like some of the challenges, because I mean, I don't even need it. I can read it. I mean, I can. Some of the challenges, let's see, from the first one. I want to say they all had to go and, like, set up hot tubs or something to show him their personality, maybe? I don't know. And then he spent, like, 10 minutes with each person and whatever. Basically, it's a dude and 20 chicks. So your hands get to go wherever you feel, and it's just, yeah, it's a very unhinged, unfiltered, entertaining situation that you just never want to be in whatsoever, ever. So, unlike modern dating shows that are often heavily polished or Instagram filtered, VH1 shows were famously trashy and raw. Viewers were captivated by the train wreck nature of the contestants, who are often unafraid to be loud, vulgar, and completely unhinged for cameras. We're talking getting naked, throwing up all over the place, fucking screaming at the top of your lungs, like fighting, because, you know, watching people like New York, who just was so in love with Flavor Flav and she should have been the winner. What was so fucking funny is that she wasn't the winner. She said she loved him, like, from the jump, which, red flag. I mean, this was before people said red flag, but the reddest flag on that bitch, and her fucking eyelashes like this. Crazy. So it gets down to her and one other person, and she loses. And stuff like that, to me, someone who enjoys the trashy train wreck, you know what I mean, is like, ah ha ha, in your face. It was awesome. And then season 2 comes around and it's a whole different group, right? And you wonder, well, why didn't the first one work out? She was so in love with him, right? No. Not really. Not really. But towards the end of the second season, he brings New York, the same chick, back again. She's lost weight. She thinks she's hot shit because she was so connected with Flav on season 1, even though she didn't win. He eventually, dusts off her clock and asks her to rejoin again. She gets down to the final 2 again. And you're like, oh God, now she's gonna get it. She gets dissed and burned again. Leaves crying, soaking wet, looking like a rat. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's really trashy TV, I'm telling you. High stakes comedy and absurdity, these shows. The shows leaned heavily into comedic, almost satirical tones. Let's see. Oh my God, there is one that just popped in my head. They're trying to cook fried chicken for his mom as a contest. Wow. Okay. I'm not someone who likes to cook. I hate it, in fact. I tell my kids all the time that if, remember Willy Wonka, that gum that was like a whole meal? If that shit existed, that's all that'd be in my pantry. Like, go find your gum. Go find your gum. There you go. If I could do that, I would do that. But I can't. So, I have to cook. It is what it is. But, if there's something that I've never made before, and I've never really been in a kitchen, I'm going to take every fucking opportunity to get every source of knowledge and things that I can so that I'm not fucking poisoning someone, because that is a reality. You know what I mean? It is. Chicken is a big one. My husband doesn't even like to cook chicken because it's just that it has to be done, right? I saw a show once where a chick left her chicken pink. She treated it like it was fucking beef, everybody. That is not it. She's like, oh, but if you leave it just a little pink in the middle, that leaves it juicy and it's not dry. Yeah, juicy. The saliva you're gonna be, your mouth's gonna be full with, alongside fucking salmonella and whatever else. So anyway, I do remember that one of these fucking contests, Flav brought his old mom in the house, and every girl had to cook her, the mom, fried chicken. Okay, that would be tasted by Flavor Flav and the mom, and then judge, top person gets to go on a date or whatever. Gets that edge, This bitch. I want to say her name was Hottie. Nicknames is another big thing. He gives them all nicknames because, that's easier to remember. Hottie, big tits, big boobs, boots, whatever the fuck. He gave nicknames so they didn't have to, remember their actual names because that's too hard. So, this bitch named Hottie, brainless bimbo, I guess, puts this whole motherfucking chicken, the whole chicken, on a plate, stuffs it with vegetables and things, jelly even, puts it in the microwave because there's a chicken button, right? And her little interview as she's doing it, she's like, I put it in the microwave because it has less oils and it's more healthy, and it is cooked because there is a chicken button on the microwave. Oh my God. My older kids have also seen the show, so I had to reiterate that no, that is not to cook a whole motherfucking chicken, okay? Oh my God. So, absurdity, absolutely, yes. Iconic characters, I swear. This isn't even, how there's the A-list and even the B-list? These people don't make that, okay? They're down. They're down. And yet, iconic characters, kind of if I were to say Big Ed from 90 Day, a lot of people know what I'm talking about. He's an iconic character. He's a piece of shit and a horrible human, but who he is, right? He's very memorable in that sense of he's a fucking train wreck, right? He's in there with the trash. He's in there. These shows peddled out some very iconic characters, New York was one of them because she's just very fucking loud and she one of those. But then you think of the other ones and there were definite, like, I don't know. I think on Rock of Love, there's an older chick. Her name was Rodeo, he called her, because she wore a fucking cowboy hat. Like, it makes sense, right? So that one stuck out because of her fucking laugh. She had this gut-busting hyena laugh that was just, like, infectious, just, like, wheeze-inducing laugh. And there are other characters like that, but they have people who are really weak, who are really fucking dumb, who are villainous. Like, when I say iconic, it doesn't mean that they're, like, amazing in any sense. It's just, there's something in there that worms its way and you're like, oh, yeah, I know. So pure escapism is another perk of these fucking shows. And what that means is, for many, these shows served as a brain-off distraction from real-life stress. There is no brain work involved in these shows. None. None. The low-stakes drama provided a guilty pleasure that allowed audiences to judge the outrageous behavior of others while enjoying the voyeuristic thrill of the mansion setting. A good call I think they made in this mansion setting was, instead of doors, they put curtains. Could you imagine how many times a sound would be fucked up because of slamming doors? I mean, 20 bitches in a mansion. All trying to, it's like everyone trying to date the same guy for prom or something. It's very, could you imagine? Oh my God. Just the noise anyway. Oh, to be in a fucking house, even if it's a big house, it doesn't even matter. A mansion, doesn't even matter. Like, there's 20 females in there from the get-go. The dude's room was usually somewhere on the opposite side of the house, which was not a mistake, okay? And it's this giant room, which he probably stayed in a good amount of the time. I mean, yeah. Cultural community. At their peak, these shows were massive water cooler moments. Millions of people watched simultaneously the Flavor of Love 2 finale. Drew 7.5 million viewers, leading to intense social discussions and later a massive online community that persists today through memes and podcasts. Today, many fans revisit these shows for nostalgia, viewing them as a time capsule of 2000s fashion, music, and the Wild West era of reality television before strict production standards came to the norm. Yeah, so there were other shows that came off of it. So like Charm School, right? Like Flavor of Love Charm School took all of the rejects, basically, or a chunk of them anyway. Like the first season of Charm School had 3 deans, right? They go to this other mansion type, a charm school, and they take the rejects who didn't win Flavor of Love, and same kind of setup, only they're not trying to date a man, you know, they're trying to get the money that could change their lives. So yeah, the first one was hosted by Monique and had its own, like, honestly, those shows are just as good because you take out, like, the disgusting shit with the dude and then it just turns into a bunch of catty behavior. This one I really couldn't be a fucking camera person for because, whew, there's just no fucking off switch. None. I think it went from Monique was one for the Flavor of Love, and then Ricky Lake was one for... Nope. Monique was one for Flavor of Love, Charm School. And then it was Rock of Love, Charm School, where Sharon Osbourne was the host. And then it was... There was a 3rd season and Ricky Lake was it. And I think that was the... God. There's so many of love things. It's just like interweaving at this moment. Okay, Real Chance of Love, girls. And Rock of Love, girls. There you go. So Real Chance. Those were actually 2 brothers that were on I Love New York, who was on Flavor of Love. So like, it Okay, so Flavor of Love, you had New York. And New York eventually got her own spin-off, I Love New York, where it was 20 dudes trying to go for her. Same formula, same setup. They gave her a mansion, not hers. Whatever. She was still loud. Everything else, I don't even know. I think she had 2 or 3 of those episodes. I don't know. And then that kind of spun off into something completely else. Like, they tried to give her her own show. Like, people gave a shit what she did. Like, New York goes to work or something. I have no idea. Some things, just no. But then it spun off into, okay, so she was on Flavor of Love. Then she was on I Love New York. These two brothers, Real and Chance, were on I Love New York. Obviously, they didn't get chosen, so they, of course, got their own spin-off, Real Chance of Love, where 20 girls come in trying to date each brother, blah, blah, blah. And then that broke off into Charm School, or I Love Money, which I Love Money was a pretty good spin. They took contestants from all the shows, like different people from the Of Love shows, put them all together and made them compete for money. And that's when a lot of truth came out about, no, I actually didn't like making out with a 65-year-old man. I actually, you know, wanted to live in his mansion and wanted, you know, him to take me shopping, and I wanted the money. So with this, I Love Money, they kind of, you know, they took like mock challenges from all the shows and made it about money. And so, of course, you got people in there that are trying to hook up. Like, it was just such a trashy fucking time. It was so... I mean, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But again, it was like that guilty pleasure that just made me feel so good about what I had going on. Like, my problems were very, very small compared to these fucking bitches with their, you know, Now, I didn't watch all of I Love New York because, again, she just drove me fucking nuts. She's very loud. But I feel like even there was a Daisy of Love, too. Daisy was a contestant from Rock of Love. And so, of course, she got her spin-off. And it just, yeah. It was a golden time back in the early 2010s. No, that was 2008. So, yeah. So, early 2000s. 20 years ago. 20 years ago? Almost. Yeah, 2006. God damn. 20 years ago. Oh my god. So yeah. If you've never watched them and you just happen to stumble across, okay. I don't know that these bitches would have followed a script. Oh my god, I forgot. Someone shit on the floor. Her name was something. No idea why. She just had that something. I don't know. But he gave her that name. And this was like end of first episode, beginning of second episode. I think this was Flavor of Love 2. Oh. So at the end of each episode, when someone's been voted off, they always crack open a bottle of something, be it champagne or beer or wine or whatever the fuck. And they pour a glass and everyone does a toast, you know, yay, we're still here. Blah. Well, they all are circled up, right? And there is a point very early on in the second episode where this bigger woman puts her glass up and she's doing the toast, and then all of a sudden she disappears out of frame. She like squats down to the floor and you're like, what? And then you see her kind of walking around, you know, the circle, and then you kind of see her going upstairs. Well, that's kind of weird. And then in the next episode, come to find out, when she squatted down, she had actually, like, shit herself. Shit on the floor. I don't know. And it's, like, going up the stairs. What the fuck, man? You can't make that shit up. You can't. You can't. Yeah, I don't think there's a producer out there that would have been like, you know what to turn this up? If, you know, if one of you, do we have a volunteer? Anyone have to, like, really shit right now? If you could just, like, squat down shit on the floor and just, like, yeah, do that. Oh, that'd be great, you know? That shit don't happen. I mean, it did, but script-wise, no. So I don't even think if you, like, tried to write it, it just wouldn't have been the same. Like, unhinged, trashy train wreck is what we got back then. So if you haven't looked at any, I mean, you're missing out. You should definitely just, even for nostalgia's sake, tune into one episode. Just get a good laugh and then move on with your life, because it's bad. But I just wanted to dive into the possibilities of love with Valentine's Day being days away. So hopefully, if you're spending Valentine's Day in front of a TV and you want to do that, definitely watch anything else, like anything else. But if you're alone and you're bored and you're like, well, a little bit curious, yeah, go ahead. Just flip to it. Like, it'll give you something, even if it's complete regret for that 20-30 minutes, whatever it is. Okay. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. This has been Watch Wednesday, VH1 of Love shows. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Screens big or small. And if you don't have your Valentine's Day shit together, you have a couple days. Here's looking at you, everyone, not just dudes. Chicks need to get on the V-Day train too, because if you don't get the V, then you don't get the D and all the letters. So that's coming up. This has just been your reminder. So you're welcome and get on it. All right, we're done. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And I'm out of here.